Well, good morning, everybody. How are you out there? It is, I know, a little bit early. I don't do these normally this early, but that's going to probably start changing. I get up early anyway. But as you can see, a lot of cool things, a lot of fun, colorful things are changing this season. This season, meaning, of course, the Halloween Spooky Toons season. So, as some of you may know, if you followed me throughout the past couple of years, you've noticed that I've done this thing called Spooky Toons, where I take some of the characters who wanted to dress up in some cosplay and some costumes, and they wanted to actually portray their versions of some of these characters. So, yeah, I mean, this is, oh my God. I looked at this, the whole frame, and this is so fun. This is so colorful. I love this. I just wish I could have some kind of a backdrop. That would be really cool. I just got to figure out like size and all that kind of jazz and how to figure out how to do the green screen and all that stuff. But what I want to share with you guys are some pretty cool things that are just landed in the store right now. It's still being updated. I'm still doing a few things. I'm adding a few things. Plus, there's going to be some new Artoons featuring Stanley and friends, the main six characters, where I'm going to have a little story card to go along with all of each of them and kind of like where they came from. It's not going to be huge. It's going to be about a paragraph long. It's nothing majorly long like a War and Peace novel to read or anything like that. So don't worry about that. Um, but I want to introduce you guys to these characters because that's something that I've kind of done throughout the years, but I don't think I've done it enough. So because animation is so expensive and there's man oh man, I mean there's just so many moving parts in animation. Of course, I already knew that going into this. That's what makes it so fun and so cool. Is that because there are so many moving parts, it is so incredibly team oriented. And it's kind of hard when you're a startup to actually start working on an animation. You got someone working in this state or this country or this state and this state or that county. It's just everyone's all over the place. So what I'm actually trying to do is kind of going back to basics, I've called it. I've done that a few times, and really trying to get to the core of what I need. So in the meantime, while I'm doing all that with animation, we do have, which I'm really stoked about, we have our second comic book coming out featuring Stanley and Friends. I don't have the actual copy here because it's actually off to the printer and it will be coming out in next week. Yeah, next week, Wednesday. Woohoo! It's called Stanley and the Forgotten Forest. So if you haven't seen our first book, you haven't read our first book, you can go to bulkystudiosart.com right now and you can actually order our first book, which, as an honor, I mean, this was a huge honor. We were nominated for an Eisner Award. Now, I know a few of you have already heard me say that 100 billion times, but it's a big honor. So we're hoping that this one can actually also be nominated. But if it's not, it's okay because it's still a very fun book. And this is the first issue, Stanley and the Forgotten Forest. This is the first issue where we introduce our very first villain. So, oh, I love her. She's great. I mean, Dave Alvarez, if you don't know who this man is, look him up on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. He is fantastic. And also, just to kind of, give Dave a little pat on the back here, he just got picked up by Disney to be a Disney animator. Oh my God. Dave, congratulations to you. You are so awesome. You're a super great guy. I wish you the best, but don't forget about us little people. So, so anyway, but the second book, I'm super excited. The new villain, I don't want to go too much into it quite yet, but the new villain, I'm just so, oh my gosh, she just looks fantastic. So there's the first hint, and she also loves candy, and I'm not going to get into all of that either because you gotta read the book. So, but I can't wait for this book to come out September 7th, which is next week Wednesday. Go to your local comic store and go pick one up. So, what is all this that's going on? As I kind of already kind of scratched the surface, every year I do something called Spooky Toons, where again, I know I just said this, where again, some of the characters want to dress up in some of the costumes to kind of portray some of their favorite characters. For instance, like, right here, probably one of my most popular ones, Natasha's Witches. I mean, how cool is that? So, kind of look familiar? Yeah, good timing to come out too, because what's coming out next month? Hocus Pocus 2. I don't know about you. I don't care. I love some of that corny stuff. Always have. It's got a very big following, and I am so looking forward to this movie. So I cannot wait. So, like, we have Natasha's Witches here right below. We have Stanley's Duck Busters. There's a ghost duck on the loose. And of course, who are you going to call? Stanley Duckbusters. Um, Also, the very brand new piece that I've never had for. I literally did this on Saturday, and it's this one right up here featuring Chester. So it's the first time having a Count Dracula. I have my own. There's a couple different collections that I have within Spooky Toons. I've got a new cosplay collection, which I'll get into a little bit later. I also have, of course, the movie monsters, which you can kind of see right down here. Trying to get my thumb all organized here. You can see Billy from the Black Lagoon, and also down on the bottom underneath him, you can see the Bride of Frankenstein. So I've got a few different collections within Spooky Toons, and it's all happened because Natasha's Witches over here brewed something, and it kind of backfired. And everybody just kind of went crazy. They want to dress up in some Halloween costumes. They become some of these characters. And you never know, it might be coming out of the ground to come at you. I have some of those too. So I want to kind of show you guys, looking at a picture like on a website or something like that's always really cool. But I think if I physically show you guys and I show you the size, it kind of will add a little more oomph to the piece and kind of to the whole collection. So I'm going to get started. Now, the first collection I'm going to show you guys, and this one I've had around for some time. This is our classic monsters collection. This is where Stanley and the gang wanted to dress up as some of the classic monsters, classic movie monsters. Like Dracula, the werewolf, a Wolfman, the Mummy, and Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. It's some of those characters. So the first character that I'm going to bring up to you, and I know you can see him actually right here. You can see Billy from Black Lagoon, and also right directly below him, you see the Bride of Frankenstein, not Stein, Frankenstein, as in Stanley. But this character I'm going to show you, this was a very fun piece, and I'm going to do kind of a variant piece to this, I think, this year possibly, because this was actually cut down. And I'll tell you about that in just one second. But here it is right here. So this right here, this is Bandit the Mummy. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? I love how these just came out so fantastic. Eric Martin did a fantastic job on the artwork of the characters. I did do the coloring. I did the background, of course, creating. So these are just super, super fun. So I've got the full color version right here. But then I also offer something else. And I just kind of thought this added a little more of the nostalgic touch, I think, to the classic movie monsters. And Stanley and friends, they loved it. They love how these secondary variants kind of came out. And it's the sepia tones. So this looks like it was actually caught on an actual camera, vintage camera, or kind of like those old school cameras like from the 1920s or whatnot when these movies came around. I just love the sepia tone. So I actually offer both. I offer the full color and I offer the sepia. So you can kind of see them both here. They really do give a whole different look or a whole different feel to the piece. I love these. I really do. I'm a little biased, but I do love them anyway. So, and with that, like I said, the brand new character that I have is actually right up here. It's actually Chester, Count Chester, I call him. Literally just finished that on Saturday, and it was a piece. The Dracula is what I had in my mind for a very long time, and I actually had Count Stanley Count Chester for a while. I think for like about a year and a half, almost 2 years. I just didn't color them up. And then when I started coloring and I started creating the backgrounds and creating the moon and the bats and the tree and the fog, everything just kind of really came together. And I love this piece. I don't have one physically here yet. Like I said, I just finished it. So I will eventually actually have the cartoons or the prints of these coming up at our next convention, which is going to be the DuPage MightyCon Comic Con. So if you're going to be there, you got to stop by and check all these guys out, all those different Spooky Toons that I have. You're not going to want to miss these. The next one I want to show you is probably one of my more popular ones. This one I've had around for a little bit. This is kind of a different variation of it, just a smidge, not tons, but again, you can kind of see them right here, Natasha's Witches. So this is the actual one. I just love how these came out. This just really came out really fantastic. Just very colorful. And that's the cool thing about this particular one. The colors of this one, this is a brand new size, by the way. I've never done them in 8.5 by 11, and that's what this is. That's also what the Mummy one, the Bandit the Mummy was, also 8.5 by 11. Well, those are my new biggest sizes that I'm doing from now on. However, just the 8.5 by 11s, for some reason, you can almost see it in the picture here if I can get the glare out of there. I mean, it's the vibrancy of the colors are just boom right in your face, and that is what I was looking for, and that is why I absolutely love these pieces. Again, being biased, they are my characters, but the vibrancy of the colors is what really, really helps, and that's why I love this whole entire framework that I have going on in this video. So one more that I have, and I had mentioned it just a little bit ago, that I kind of started a new collection within Spooky Toons. Now, I don't think these are just going to stay around only for the Spooky Toons season. And here's why, because I call this the Cosplay Collection. Now, that has a huge, wide range. When you go to conventions, any time of the year, you always see people dressed up in cosplay, always. From little kids to big kids, to big kids, you're going to see everybody dressed up. So it's not only Halloween. So I think I'm going to keep these around, I think, year round. There's some that I might just kind of maybe keep on the side, maybe more for the Spooky Toons, possibly this one I'm about to show you, featuring Natasha. And but this was just a really fun piece to do. And the reason why, I'll show you the reason why, but I'll kind of zoom in a little bit if I can. Oh, I got something in my eye. Sorry, guys. Ooh. I'll kind of zoom in a little bit if I can, but she's actually standing on a whole pile of acorns. And if you've known this character actually stands on a whole bunch of dead bodies or severed heads. But of course, I want to make something a little lighter of this because it is Natasha in this costume. And I didn't want her to be standing on all this gory stuff. So I kind of friendlied it up a little bit. And I give to you this. This is just really cute. Natasha absolutely loves this one particular character, but she didn't exactly know how she was going to be able to fit inside the costume. So she kind of made one that it resembles the character a little bit. Let's see if you guys can pick it out. But here she is, Natasha, in one of her, this was from I think last year actually, kind of brought her out a little bit late. But this is actually Natasha in one of her costumes that she created last year of one of her favorite characters. Can you kind of figure out who it is? So you can kind of see right down there, you see she's standing on, sorry for the glare there, guys. You can kind of see that she's standing on acorns there. So yes, this is the character. So this is the costume, and this is a little bit more kind of naughty, at least for Natasha to be wearing. But it really speaks her, like, I'm a woman, hear me roar, it's one of those kind of pieces. And when you look at it up close and you look at it physically and personally, wow. Again, the colors just really blow you out of the water. I know I'm kind of giving myself little, taps on the back, because when I look back at these pieces after not seeing them for a long period of time, because again, Spooky Toons season only comes once a year, I just kind of go, wow. I kind of amaze myself sometimes, but it wouldn't be possible unless I had the amazing artwork. And again, that particular piece was also done by Eric Martin, one of the cartoonists that I work with here in the studio. And I've been working on and off. He's worked on some of the comic strips with me. We worked on a lot of different prints, or cartoons, I call them. Yeah. So that's kind of like a little taste into Spooky Tunes. So the Spooky Tunes are right now going up on bulkystudiosart.com, which I'm going to go ahead and just type right in here. And boom, there you go. So bulkystudiosart.com, some of the Spooky Tunes have already been up there. I have a brand new pin series featuring Spooky Tunes, some of the Stanley and Friends characters. So I've got those coming. Are those already up on the site? I've got the new comic book already up on the site. I also have with the actual cartoons, the 8.5 by 11s that I just showed you. All those are 8.5 by 11s. All the Spooky Tunes are now up there for those. The original hand colorings, I also have some Spooky Tunes up there. And coming up, finishing off this week, which also leads into next month, I'm going to be finishing off and putting up the rest of the Spooky Tunes and the matted pieces. And I don't know if I have anything else. I might have. Oh, and some of the new original hand coloring pieces that are coming soon. Yeah, so lots of spooky stuff coming. I hope you guys can go and check it out. Again, it's bulkystudiosart.com. It's right down here. I also just typed it out in the comments right here, wherever you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. So I hope you guys go and check those out. I'm super, super excited about these. As you guys can probably tell, I mean, it's the colors. I mean, the colors just really kind of bam right in your face, and that's what I want. And you know what? One thing, hey, what's going on, Billy? And one thing that I really, 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 really hope that these characters do is bring a smile to your face. You know, I was talking to somebody at the, where was I? The Milwaukee Makers Market last weekend, I think it was. And she's like, well, why do you do this? Like, what is the main reason why you do this? And an interviewer asked me this also at the Chicago Fan Expo. And I simply said, and you know what, it kind of sounds, you know, cheesy, but it's very true. You know, if I can take someone out of reality for even just 1 second or 2 seconds, then I did my job. If I can bring a smile to their face, then I did my job. Because you can't put a price on that. Yes, money helps. I'm not going to lie to you, because as I said earlier, animation is extremely expensive. But I'm kind of pivoting, and I'm kind of figuring out another way to kind of get the characters out there for you as I'm working on all the animation. So this is the best way that I can do it for you guys. And again, if you look at those characters, you go on bulkystudiosart.com, you see something you like, grab it. You know, or my phone. Or, you know, if it at least brings a smile to your face, then I'm doing something right, and I'm doing my job, because that's what I want to bring to you guys. I want to make you guys smile. I want you guys to be happy. I want all of us to be happy. And then after I make you guys happy, I can go focus on world peace. Nah, I'm kidding. That's yeah. But I can at least try to make people smile. You know, anytime they walk by the booth or they see a picture that I've worked on or one of the characters, I at least can do that. And plus with the new comic strips coming out, which I'm actually going to be starting next year. I was going to start them this year, but kind of a little too late. My fault, because I was focusing more on the comic book. But the comic strips are going to be coming out next year, and I'm trying to hone in on an exact one location where I can have the strips. So as you guys can see, there's so many things running in my mind all the time. And that also kind of makes it hard to just focus on one thing. But again, I'm learning how to scale back, trying to figure things out, and really starting to put things forward so it all makes sense to you guys, which I think I'm doing a pretty okay job, I think. So again, guys, please go and check out bulkystudiosart.com. I'm updating everything in the store right now, and Spooky Tunes are here. So all the pieces that you physically, all the pieces you physically see next to me over here, they are all up online right now. Some of them have the sepia tone, kind of like you see Bride of Frankenstein right here. Some of them are sepia toned. Some of them, like Natasha's Witches and there we go, Stanley's Duckbusters, they don't have a sepia tone. They're just the classic color. So yeah. Hey, Kevin. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So please go and check that out, guys. And if you guys can make, you know, please, I just try to make like 1 or 2 sales a month. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but believe it or not, There's not a lot of sales that I make with the store, but just to try to make it worth spending the money every month, if I can do 1 or 2 sales a month, that would be awesome. Plus, that money also helps me with some of my cartoonists, so I can also make sure they get paid, and because they like money too. And you know what? So do I. So I can get some new equipment and I can start paying for, well, there's a whole slew of things that I have to pay for when it comes to animation and working and all this stuff. So if you guys can, please go to bulkystudiosart.com, purchase anything you want there. Shipping, I'm going to be, shipping is, I think, is only $6, I believe, for your whole entire order. So if you have 10,000 things or if you have one thing, you know, it's the same price for shipping across the country. So I believe it's only $6, I believe, $6 or $8, I believe. So that's not bad. But again, I'm not here just to talk about the prints. I'm just here to introduce you guys to Spooky Toons 2022. I'm really super excited, and I hope to see you guys at an upcoming show. If you want to check out any of the conventions I'm going to be going to, go to jeffbalkystudios.com, which I'm going to put that in here as well in the comments. Oops. Go to jeffbalkystudios.com and go to the events page. All of those conventions are confirmed, signed, sealed, delivered. They're ready to go. Those are the ones that I am physically doing for the rest of 2022. 2023, I'm going a little bit kind of back on the road. I'm going to be hitting some other conventions that I haven't been to in a few years. Thank you, COVID. So I'm looking forward to getting back there as well. But my next stop is going to be at the DuPage Mighty Cod Comic Con in Illinois. So if any of you are in that area, please stop on by, check it out. All of these guys are going to be available right there. I'm also going to have some of the cutouts there of Stanley and Friends. So you can take a picture with them and, of course, me. But I hope to see you guys at an upcoming convention. I know I'm going to have a lot of, I love doing shows. I really do. The past few years have been really rough. As we all know, we've all been through it. It's been really rough to try to actually physically meet people, talk to people. This is great, but you guys know me. I'm a talker. I love talking to people, and for real, face-to-face. So hopefully that will happen soon with you guys, I hope. So thank you guys again very much. Again, go and check out bulkystudiosart.com. If you can make a purchase, awesome. If not, don't worry about it. It's cool. If it makes you smile, that counts. I love that. I love that. So anyways, guys, thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. And yeah, Spooky Toons are here. And I will be finishing putting the rest of them up the whole week. And I look forward to seeing you guys coming up at a convention. So thank you. You guys take care. Talk later, guys.